Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, today we will discuss about the Linux memory management scheme in terms of both physical memory and the virtual memory. How the physical memory is allocated by Linux, divided into zones, and by slab and body allocation system, and how it is allocated the virtual memory address space, perform the dynamic and static linking, and all the virtual memory linking, paging, swapping inside this Linux memory. Due to some hardware constraints, the physical paging scheme or the memory scheme of a Linux is divided into zones. The zones that are completed into that particular Linux memory management are into 4 zones. First is the zone DMA 32, zone norm or normal, and zone high mem for high memory. For this x86-32 architecture of this memory of Linux, it supports this zone normal and zone DMA, and it supports no high memory. So we can see that the zones are specifically architecture dependent on that particular kernel memory area. Now the x86-64 supports the zone DMA 32 as well as the zone DMA high mem, supporting the all high memory areas. Now the AMD 64 supports that the zone DMA 32 and zone DMA normal, and finally all other 64-bit operating systems of Linux supports the all zone DMA 32, zone DMA normal, and zone DMA high mem. So using these zones, we can specify that the kernel specific instructions to be run on the high memory or zone high mem, and other than the user processes which should reside on the zone DMA and zone DMA 32 to residing and swapping and paging done on that particular disk to main memory address area. Now the primary page allocator inside the kernel memory area of the Linux uses two of this allocation scheme. One is the body allocation, another is the slab allocation. For small pages to be allocated by the physical primary area in a Linux, it uses a body system, where the small pages that are kept in pair and known as bodies. These bodies will be allocated and to be combined into a body heap that will contain a more larger area if there is a requirement of a larger page, so that dynamically it can set aside the page size of a particular page requirement and then create the body heap along with the small pages of different sizes. Say that two pages of 8 KB and 4 KB now can be combined to a 12 KB page, which can be bodied with another 12 KB page to make a body heap of 24 KB body heap. So in this way, the body allocation scheme provides the most efficient way to the page size variable requirement in a page allocation system. The page allocator is definitively used by the kernel of the Linux, not by the user processes. So first we will see that how the body heap is constrained. So here the small pages size is 4 KB. If it satisfies the request, then it can be satisfied with this 4 KB page requirement. Other than it will be going to a body heap of 8 KB. If it is also not satisfied, then it can move to a body heap of 16 KB. So the largest page size that is supported by the Linux operating system in a 32-bit system is a 16 KB of page. Now this kernel memory allocation area take uses of the malloc function in C language, and it is known as kmalloc. The particular use of kmalloc is it can require and allocate an area of a variable size that is defined by this body allocation system, and the kmalloc is most useful for using the body and slab allocation inside the kernel allocation. After the kalloc allocates a page for a particular requirement, when the requirement is finished, then the page can be again freed up with the kfree function. Next type of allocation scheme we will discuss is a slab. Now each slab can be made of 2 or 3 physical pages, and each of these slabs can be combined together to make a cache. So the cache are definitively used for the instance objects, and the particular objects should made up and populate a cache. So there are process descriptor object for process descriptor cache, inode object for inode cache, and such on. So particularly cache has of the particular object type, and that object types can contain 2 or 3 pages that will be the slabs of that pages. So whenever we are populating these objects in a cache, there can be 3 types of situations. One is a full cache, empty cache, and partial cache. With full cache, all the objects in a cache are occupied and cannot be allocated any pages. In an partial cache, it is combined of an full and empty cache. And in an empty cache is all the objects are free to be allocated and not any objects is used by the kernel. So whenever there is a requirement to allocate an object, we must try to first from the empty cache. If there is no empty cache present, then we look for a partial cache, that if there is any free object in the partial cache. So after there is a no object in partial cache, then the process must wait until and unless there will be an object freed up from any of the full cache. So now we will see that how this slab allocation is done. See, our systems have two 3 KB of objects and three 7 KB of objects. So now the objects will be mapped to an cache, which will contain the actual physical page frames or slabs. So here the slabs are made of physical contiguous patches, and each cache you can see that containing 2 slabs here. So the first cache containing 2 slabs, and the cache objects are in turn pointing to the physical page frames. So in this way slab allocation can be performed in a Linux kernel. Next we will move to the physical memory from this virtual memory. Now whenever talking about this logical address, that is containing the virtual memory, which gives us an illusion that we are having a more amount of memory than the actual physical memory. Say for a 32-bit address space, we can have 2 to the power 32 or 4 GB of the address space, but in the virtual memory, we can have 32-bit of this 2 to the power 32-bit address space, which gives us a very more larger area than the actual physical address space. So to swap between this virtual memory and physical memory, 2 processes are there. One is swapping, another is paging. In swapping, we swap an entire process from this disk area to the main memory area when the process is needed to be performed. But as we know that the entire process is not always required to perform its task. So a particular pages from this disk area of that process is now brought into the main memory area on the virtual address space. That is known as paging. So this paging process supports that whenever a page is required, then it can be brought into the memory area. Now the process of virtual memory supports this kind of paging is known as demand paging. The page will be brought into the memory area of virtual address space only when it is required to perform. Other than that, we can have an absolute idea of what pages can be required to perform a task and bring those pages beforehand so that no page fault can occur. Page fault occurs in a virtual memory area or in a working set when the page which is needed to be performed is not present in the memory area. So then the page should be done and paging is performed. And if there is no frame that is free for paging should be done, then we consider a page that was old enough to get replaced. And this is done by the page replacement algorithm of the page scheduling idea. So that are the virtual memory management schemes of this Linux kernel. Now the Linux kernel can perform on zeroed on-demand paging, that is, the pages that was the content out and already modified and written to the disk. Now we can talk about this Linux implementation on the execution and loading of memory. So the every memory part that should be in the main memory area to execute is loaded by this Linux kernel with the exec system call. And the exec system call performs on particular kmalloc allocated memory, and the kmalloc allocated memory will be used for loading into the memory, then exec system call will be performed on it. The k-free sec performs a sequence of address that should be loaded into the memory synchronizingly and synchronously, so that whenever the first address and the first bit in the sequence arrives, it gets first executed and next is the next address. So it gives us the assurance that the address will be performed in exact order that has been loaded. Nowadays, a new Linux format that is being used in that particular memory management of a virtual scheme is the ELF format. Now to load on that ELF format, we first know that how the ELF format looks. The ELF format has a certain breakpoint, a frame pointer, and a forgettable of the memory area. So at the top level of this ELF format on kernel of the Linux on produces kernel virtual memory and the stack. And this two is the only one that is visible to the user mode of that kernel area. Other than that, all the ELF format, the memory mapping will be done from the kernel to the user mode and will not be visible to the user processes that the memory area is how mapped. After that, there is a memory mapped region where the memory is mapped from the virtual to the physical one. And after the memory is mapped on that particular IO, there is a break pointer which satisfies the breaking point of this ELF from the memory mapped and virtual section to the actual kernel memory which is residing on that particular data. After the kernel mode information that is stored inside this ELF format, there is a forbidden region which can be only instructed by the kernel, so gets its only operations of the user specification. So after the ELF format has been designed and the memory is mapped, so two types of linking can be done to this loaded executed mode. One is static linking, another is dynamic linking. In static linking, all the system libraries that is available for the system processes to support with will be linked with each process that wants to execute that particular process. So in this static linking, at first with each process the system libraries get linked, and after that the process can get support from the system libraries. But in dynamic linking, only one copy of the system library resides in the kernel or the user process. Now, every user process along with the kernel processes can get support from this copy of the shared library, which becomes a shared memory area of that particular processes. So in this way, the physical memory as well as the virtual memory is handled by the memory management scheme of this kernel and user processes of Linux. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with Ekeeda and subscribe to Ekeeda.